Let's check in and see if we are live. And I think we are. Just give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. And if you are here, gotta do a few pre-flight checks. Make sure all systems are a go. I don't see anything. Nope, there we go. With that, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Phantom Racing League YouTube channel for yet another Saturday night race here in the Phantom Racing League. Tonight we will be traveling up north to the northeast at Loudon, New Hampshire for the Magic Mile for what I believe is our 7th race of the regular season. And I hope everyone can get tuned in here. Get yourself settled in. We got plenty of time to kill before the race begins. Qualifying is currently in action. We got what looks like about 11 cars entered for this race. All going to be chasing after that lobster trophy, and hopefully none of them are scared of it like Denny Hamlin. So yeah, how is everybody doing tonight? I'm going to open up the chat here. We had a bit of a close call here in the booth. Unfortunately, Walbridge is not able to make it here tonight, and I almost didn't make it. The Phantom Racing booth's local power grid had a pole just got knocked down, so we had pretty much a loss of power for most of the afternoon. Luckily, we got the systems back up and running just in time, so we can bring these pretty pictures to your phone or TV screen or wherever you are watching our Saturday night action here tonight. Also, our producer has come into the booth with me, possibly doing some supervision here, perhaps. And I believe he wants out through the door. So we got a little bit to talk about here, I believe. So 11 cars in the field tonight. Probably got some guys making their return, some guys switching car numbers. I think Johnny Boy and the old Johnny Boy, since he's returned to Phantom, has had a bit of a dispute with the Ford camp, and it looks like he has signed on and returned to the number 16 colleague Chevrolet. So that is what he will be running tonight. So heads up for anyone watching for "You smell like a block of cheese." You got me. I don't know how to react to that. Sure. We had catering here earlier during lunch period, and some people brought over, like, carts of cheese. Unfortunately, nobody ate it, so we just kind of put it back away in storage, and hopefully maybe tomorrow some people will do something with it, or we'll just, I don't know, feed it to the mice or something. Ladies and gentlemen, Elvin Priest, former owner of the league, is in the chat. He will let you know everything about his iRacing journey, I'm pretty sure. We'll get him next time. I don't know who him is, but I appreciate that. Yeah, qualifying is underway. We could possibly talk about some of the favorites heading into tonight's race. Coming off a win at Martinsville last week is McLovin in the number 20 car. And that Toyota is firing on all cylinders, and he's taken that Christopher Bell Toyota to New Hampshire. Christopher Bell is pretty much a cheat code at New Hampshire in real life. So if that's any symbol of anything, he might be the favorite once again to win tonight. He said last week he had a pretty good car, and it looked like he had pretty good pace in practice earlier. So he's going to be one to watch just based off previous trends. But from what I saw in practice earlier, if I were to make an actual pick, and also based off last season's race, I'm leaning towards number 22 of MFF Kari. He already has a win this year. He's looking for win number 2 in the number 22, that Double Deuce Pennzoil Ford. looked really quick in practice. He seemed pretty confident in his car. So we're going to see if he can finish the deal this time around. He came close to beating the best in the business last year, Mark McIntyre, on the tear that he went on. Kari gave him a good fight in that race. He beat him a few times throughout the year, but that was one of the times where he really could have had a shot, and he's looking for redemption here. Elvin says he's got a lot to talk about in iRacing, but that's for a different time. So yeah, stay tuned for our new podcast coming out on Wednesday, where Elvin Priest talks about his iRacing journey and all the paint schemes that he has commissioned from other people, and all the setups that he has. He's gonna share all of his setups for his late model stock. It's gonna be a show and tell every Wednesday here on the Phantom YouTube channel. So if anyone out there on iRacing runs the late model stocks in the Cars Open series, be tuned in for that. See, he says he's not sharing. I'll get him. I'll get him to share. It'll be like Krabby Patty's secret formula. It's gonna come out there at some point. But so Kari, he's gonna be the favorite. I feel like qualifying looks like it's wrapping up. But sure, I guess we could also talk about league owner currently of Phantom, and also another favorite I feel like, and that's the 24 of Parley. What might be considered a home race for him since he's up there in New Brunswick, Canada. New Hampshire is probably the closest track to that region of the world. So he's probably looking to hold some lobster up in the air in that 24 Chevy. He looked like I think he had a pretty fast car here, the Pro Series last season. I don't really remember. But he's usually fast at every track, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's the favorite tonight. And as we're talking about that, I think we just found out who our pole sitter is, and you're looking right at him. Parley with a 28.489, the pole time. That is a really, really quick qualifying time in those cars for this track. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. I don't know. Maybe I just remember the times different. I thought they used to be slower, but that's a fast time. 498 Savage Bear in the number 45 will be starting on the outside of the front row. That is a driver making his second ever start here in Phantom. He made his debut last week at Martinsville. Looks like he's been at work with that car, and he qualified really well. He's qualified ahead of a lot of guys like Kari and McLovin. Two other favorites I just previously talked about share row 2, with McLovin on the inside in third at a 28.591, and then MFF Kari will roll off P4 at a 28.638. Starting fifth will be the number 1 car of D. Allison. MPM, one of many MPM drivers, as that team is continuing to expand beyond the 2-car operation that they initially started out with D. Allison and Shady Acres. Now they have guys like Track Bars and Stag Slayer all representing their squad. So D. Allison will start 5th. I just lost 6th place. Hold on. Crap. Shack Attack. Old Shackett in the 19 will roll off P6. So that is row number 3. Starting 7th, old Johnny Boy in the number 16 car. And looks like we are going to go green. We're going to jump right into the race and bring you the action here in Loudon, New Hampshire. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go racing here at the Magic Mile. I don't know if I'm actually getting spammed join messages or if it's just the same one that just shows up like 5-6 times, which I don't know why it does that. And I just updated the system early in the week, so that should have fixed that, but I guess PlayStation doesn't give a shit about PS4 anymore, so not to worry, we're still going to bring the action here at Loudon, New Hampshire. Parley on pole, Savage Bear on the outside, then McLovin, Kari, D. Allison, Shack Attack, as they set sail into turn number 1. Everyone 2 by 2 fanning out already. Someone already dipping below the apron trying to hang on to their car. You're going to see a lot of these drivers fighting a loose condition on their race cars, leaning on the right rear of their tires on corner exit as the runs progress. But right now, that's about as tight as these cars will feel during the run as this early short run. And it takes a while for these cars to fall off, but they will eventually fall off as we complete lap number 1 with the 24 of Parley in control, in the lead, with McLovin already gaining spots. Got around the 45 outside pole sitter of Savage Bear. He will slide back to 3rd place with the 20 of McLovin taking over 2nd place. And one more car to go in his sights as he is looking to take the lead and go for win number 4 of the year. Parley looking to go for his 2nd. He got the first win at Texas 2 weeks ago. He's looking to get his 2nd win of the season. As we cycle through the field, MFF Kari starting 4th, currently running 4th still as he is trying to get settled in. It's early here in stage 1. We'll go through the rest of the field and I will look at the race rundown because I forgot to do that pre-race because I'm an idiot. So we'll let everyone know what the stage laps are and how many pit stops these drivers are required to make. Here's D. Allison in the 1 who got passed by the 19 of Shack Attack in that number 19 Toyota, who is now in the top 5. There's the 16 of old Johnny Boy, the Poppy Bank Chevrolet for Colleague Racing. That is the car that Johnny is running today. Here's Stag Slayer in the number 9. Stag 35 MPM is his user title now. And that's Track Bars in the 12 right behind him. There's Shady Acres in the 17, whose car looked like it had a bit of a hard time firing off there at the start, but he got it gathered up. But now him and the rest of the squad is starting to get separated from that lead pack. There's the 77 of MFF Ed, though. He started off the season really strong, got as high as 3rd in the standings, but he's been kind of slipping back a little bit. It's a part of the schedule. Tracks that he's probably not too fond of, but he's going to try his best here. Find his way around here. And just like everyone else, here's Track Bars, MPM in the 12. And we're back to the lead. That's Parley in that Exalta Chevrolet in control and continuing to extend the gap over McLovin, who looked like he might have smacked the wall. Savage Bear, who had started 2nd, is continuing to fall back in the running orders. He looked like he might have hit the wall as well. Shackett's getting by. D'Allison's getting by. And he hits the wall again. Shady hit it as well in the back of the frame. And it just looks like that car might be struggling race pace-wise. Or maybe Savage Bear is just kind of learning how these guys race. Because again, he is a newcomer to Phantom. He doesn't race with these guys as far as I'm concerned. So he's kind of learning how everyone's line is throughout the run, and maybe just doesn't have that car set up for the long runs that we're going to have in the race, because he set down a flyer in qualifying, and I don't mean this the wrong way, but that was a bit of a surprise in a good way for Savage Bear to qualify 2nd. So that was a really good job. He's trying his best to make the most of it right now. But unfortunately for him, things going the wrong way, and already less than 10 laps into the race, Stag Slayer into the pits. We'll keep an eye on that, see whether or not he is already out of this race and parked it for the night. So we will keep an eye on that. So stage 1 looks to be a 36 lap stint, and I believe these guys will have to pit at least once, judging off my memory of the pit windows here, or the fuel window that these cars have. They should be able to so this will be a 1 pit stage in stage number 1. Parley is continuing to get away, and McLovin has slid back to 3rd. Look at the amount of time he's lost to our race leader and to our now 2nd place recipient of MFF Kari, who has now taken over that spot. Not sure exactly what happened there. And there's D. Allison getting back around the 19 of Shack Attack. Johnny Boy right behind these two with a front row seat to this battle for what looks like 4th place. As these cars continue to roar around these flat corners, everyone taking all sorts of different lines, different approaches to these corners. And sometimes when you're running nose to tail, sometimes those corners, sometimes those paths can intersect. And that's where you're probably going to see a lot of the contact being made between cars today. And that is D. Allison in the 1 car, now up to 4th. But he runs a way wide line, probably missed his braking point a little bit. But he's going to try to diamond his exit, set the momentum to clear the 19 to prevent him from setting a pass into turn 1, and the 1 car will prevail and prevent that pass from happening. And I think I saw a car come out of the pits. Was that the 45 of Savage Bear, who has damage to the front of his race car? Not entirely sure what happened, but he is, judging from that shot there, I think he came out of the pit, so he might be on fresh tires now. A very, very short pit from the 45. We'll see how that plays out. And look at this, the 1 car continuing to run wide. That 20 car, either he got very loose or he's signaling to pit. We're going to find out. I'm going to say he got loose because that was a lot of time that he lost. And that is exactly the case. The 20 car continuing to struggle in the long run. He's going to take notes in his notebook and make sure when it comes time to pit what adjustments that he needs to tell the crew chief to make to that car to make it faster for the upcoming stages. He's in the wall again. The 20 continuing to struggle. Move D. Allison to P3. And move aside, Savage Bear is coming through with fresh tires as he's trying to unlap himself. The 20 car had no choice with the pace that he was running. He's going to come into pit road now and take advantage of the short pit. As we look through the rest of the field, I see damage to the 77 of Ed, though, front end of his car. And he looks like he is way behind, so something must have happened to him. McLovin is now on pit road. The 9 of Stag Slayer still there. It looks like he is officially out of the race already, and that's very unfortunate for the driver making his return after what I believe his last start was at Kansas about a month ago. And here is your top 2 once again. Parley in command, MFF Kari running in 2nd place at the moment, as everyone is very much spread out here at the Magic Mile. And here is your 3rd place runner, D. Allison. Old Johnny Boy, as Shackett's in pit road now, that number 19. If I could find the 16 here, I might have skipped him. There he is. He is currently scored in 4th place right now. Him, the 17 of Shady Acres, is stretching it out. Shady now into the top 5, as he has inherited that position from cars that pitted. He's loose and he's around, and what a save! Wait, he saved it. As everyone's going to get by, that was a close call. Shady Acres, hell of a save, keeping that car off the inside wall. He did a hell of a job. But unfortunately for him, lost a ton of time. Track bars into the wall as I cut to him. Shady almost looked like he had swung back to the racing surface with oncoming traffic catching him, but got on the brakes, did a good job saving his race car. No damage to that 17. As the pit strategies are varying tremendously here in stage 1, with cars short pitting, cars splitting it through the middle, splitting it halfway, and cars like Parley and Johnny Boy and Davey are stretching it out all the way. Now here's the 1 car signaling, trying to make it as obvious as he can for the 16 so he doesn't accidentally hit him. So the 1 car will be pitting this time, and he does. Shady Acres now on the pit road. The 77 has come out. The 19 also back on track. Parley still in the lead. MFF Kari running in 2nd. The 16 hasn't pitted yet. He is in 3rd place. And let's check in. Savage Bear was the first car to pit. McLovin pitted also pretty early. Looks like track bars in the 12 car. I was going to say taking over 4th place, which he has, but something happened to him as he got all the way up into the marbles. And oh my goodness, that car is just not turning at all. And that'll be a quick trip to pit road for the 12. As we cut back to our race leader of Parley. I don't have his stream up yet, so that'll give me a quick moment to pull that up. And the 17. So I got 4 streams up. I got Parley's on board. I got the onboard of the 17 of Shady Acres. I got the 16 of Old Johnny Boy has provided me his live stream. And the 77 of Eddo. There's Johnny coming out of the pits now. And looks like he will cycle out ahead of the 1. Despite stretching it out longer. Assuming, yeah, he is. Despite pitting later, he's going to come out ahead of the 1 car and have the tire advantage. So now here is the 20 to 19. This is for 3rd place. Shaka to come out of the pits about a few laps later than the 20. So he's going to have the tire advantage here. I see, it looks like, I think that's the 12 car again. Parley has pitted from the lead. Kari continuing to stretch it. We'll see how that benefits the 22 and the 24. Now Parley coming out of the pits now. And he will remain ahead of the 20 of McLovin. As we look through the rest of the field, this is a battle for position right here between the 16 and the 1. The 77 of Ed, though, a lap behind in the meat of that sandwich, I'm presuming. And that looks to be the case. As he will be given the blue flag for the 1, but he took away his racing line there. Davey probably wasn't expecting that, but the 77 will move aside and let the 1 go. Again, this battle here is for 3rd place. Parley, get an update on where he's running right now. I believe he is currently in 2nd place. And he is. Now that 22, I believe still needs to pit. If he hasn't already, and if I somehow missed that, I might as well file a resume and fill it into Fox Sports 1 for my camera work, because that is just awesome how I would somehow miss that. But yeah, here is now your race leader with what looks like 10, maybe less than 10 laps to go, is this 22 of MFF Kari. Like I said in pre-race, that car was a rocket ship here last season, looked like a rocket ship in practice, and now looks like a rocket ship today. And there's the 24 Parley side by side with Savage Bear. As Savage Bear looks like he is currently a lap down in 7th place at the moment. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the same strategy that Kari attempted last week at Martinsville. But the thing is with that strategy, it didn't work at all, unfortunately. It actually trapped him a lap behind for the final stage. Now, the good news is he's trying this out in stage 1 instead of stage 2. So now he has plenty more time to experiment. He knows his car is fast. And I think that's what he's trying to do now. He doesn't really seem to be worried about stage points. He's just trying to go for wins. So he's seeing how far he can stretch that fuel window. And he stretched it out farther than everybody else in the field. As Parley will take back the lead. And I just had it on Parley. There he is. And I think that's the 22 right behind him. Yes, it is. So not too bad. The 22 still within reach of the 24, and assuming he took tires, could be in contention for the stage win. But now because he came out so close behind to the 24, makes me wonder if he took tires at all. Because I think he took 2 when he tried this at Martinsville last week. At least that's what I think he said. Sorry folks, it's been a while since I've flown solo in the booth here, so trying to multitask, keep up with everyone here as the 20 and the 19 are still nose to tail. The 12 and the 45, as he was wrestling that race car, trying to keep it going straight. Tried to merge back in line, but the 19 was still going through. As the 45 of Savage Bear is continuing to work on the handling of his race car. 20 trying to get around the 12 of Track Bars, who is getting out of the way, very much out of the way, in fact. But the 19 looked like he missed his line a little bit. As we will get a quick, hopefully quick lap down, as I swear to God, the stream's like pause. Anytime I switch tabs, the stream's auto pause, and I don't know why it does it, and I hate that it does it. It only does it half the time too, which is annoying. So yeah, that was 3 to go. The last time Parley crossed the line. Now it looks like he's pulling away from the 22, which tells me he did not take tires, at least not 4. But the 22 has a good enough gap to the cars behind him, so he should still get second place in stage 1. As we got 2 to go. Go through the rest of the field here. Everyone very spread out here. There'll be one more lap for Parley to collect another green and white checkered flag and add it to his stage win collection that is ever so growing. Hardly anything out of that rear mirror right now. That 22 not even within reach of the 24. Given the green and white checkered as he's coming off turn 4. And that'll bring an end to stage 1. Parley gets it done. With 2 more stages to go, Parley takes home the stage 1 win. And Kari will get second. The 16 got loose. Now luckily for him, I don't think that was for position. So, Kari second, McLovin third, Shack Attack in fourth, D. Allison in the 1 car rounds out your top 5. And then, old Johnny Boy 6th place, the last car on the lead lap, the Lucky Dog, will go to the 12 of Track Bars. He had beaten out the 45 of Savage Bear for the free pass spot and the 77 of Ed, though. The 17 of Shady Acres will round out your top 10, and that will leave us with 10 cars left in the race as we have the early retirement of Stag Slayer. Unfortunately, will not continue. But yeah, stage 1, a lot of cars with quite a bit. Even Parley, our race leader, not anymore. The lead has switched hands on pit road. The 22 pit crew coming through. Give him Kari the lead. As we're mixing things up here in stage number 2, Kari's the control car. Parley on his outside. And then Shack Attack gets ahead of McLovin for 3rd. And then Johnny Boy and D. Allison running 5th and 6th. And there you see the 12 of Track Bars tail of the line. He is back on the lead lap in that 12 car. Parley got a really good jump, took advantage of that outside groove to give himself the lead back. D. Allison gets out of shape. Oh, and he takes out the 16. Big crash into turn 1. Track bars also collected. Heavy damage. Now that engine sounded like it was stuck in gear. The 16 also with a heavy shunt to the outside wall. As D. Allison got way out of shape on the front straightaway. Looked like he had no chance to correct it by the point of reaching turn 1 and just straight up clobbered the 16 and basically anyone else that was within traffic or within the path of where that wreck was. And that could have been a lot worse. Surprisingly, there were only, looks like 2 cars that got damaged. The 12 car looks like doesn't look like he has any damage there, so he should be alright. That'll give Savage Bear, I think, the lucky dog, and it does. As we cycle out to the 12 track bars. Looks like not enough laps on his tires. He will cycle out to the lead, staying out. Now he's going to run the apron here. Oh, and he makes contact with the 24, a bumper to the 22. They're going to be 3 wide as the 12's trying to get out of the way. Savage Bear making contact with the 17 of Shady Acres, who is next in line potentially. Either him or the 77 of Ed, though, to get the free pass in case we get another caution. Now, I'm going to look on board here with the 1 and the 16. Old Johnny Boy got out ahead. Both those cars fixed their damage. They're running nose to tail now. McLovin now up into second place. Charging for the lead as Parley got tight off corner exit. And let's get to that here just a quick second. This is for the lead. McLovin looked like he got a really good restart. Little bit of a tight exit there. Kills off any sort of momentum he would have had, but he's going to try to follow the path of that 24 of Parley. Try to see if you can study from him, see if there's anything he could learn about the line he's running or what his car is doing and what he could do to continue to make his car better. And we're still very early into this run, but looks like the 20 car was at work on pit road, and so far it looks like it's gotten faster. As it bounced the left rear wheel off into the corner. Those things are running really stiff. But yeah, Kari now back into third place. Shack Attack in the 19 car continuing to run steadily into the top 5. He's running in fourth right now, holding off the 16 of Old Johnny Boy. And the 1 of D. Allison right there with Savage Bear. Looks like he's trying to make his car better as well. He got the lucky dog. He's gotten ahead of the 12 of track bars, who has dropped all the way to the back of the line. So he takes over 7th from the 12. And I think... no, Shady Acres has gotten ahead of Ed, though. Something happened to the 77, so the lucky dog battle back underway. As that switched hands, 77 was ahead. So yeah, now Shady Acres in position to get back in the race if we get another caution as it stands. So we got 42 laps to go here in stage number 2. This is a longer stage compared to stage 1. Now, the thing with this stage is that they're only required to pit once, just like last time, so if that's the case, I think that's going to take out a bit of the creativity with strategy. I think everyone's going to pit around the same time, just trying to make it on fuel for that second stint. If my math is correct, which it never is, so don't be surprised if I'm wrong about that too. Yeah, the field continuing to fan out. as the run continues to progress. Potential battle for third. Shack Attack chasing the 22 of MFF Kari for third place. Shack Attack also has some notes from last season's Pro-Am race as well. He was also in that race and had a really good run. If I remember correctly, he finished on the podium in that race as well as the 22. Both running similar pace at the moment. The 19 trying to explore with different lines, thinking that he could potentially get around this 22 and chase down the leaders that are continuing to pull away at the moment. But right now it might not be enough, so the 19's just gonna settle in. Old Johnny Boy, looks like his car is starting to swing a little bit tight on entry. Oh, trouble for the 20 again. He's loose again, and he's gonna lose spots. 1, 2, maybe 3. Charges it in to defend the 4th spot from the 16, but that's 2 lost. The 22 and the 19 pick up the scraps, and Kari back up to 2nd again. The 20 continuing to struggle will lose that spot to the 16 of Old Johnny Boy. McLovin with another slip up off corner exit. The 16 might have had one there, I'm not sure. For what looked like the 20 car was just getting back into rhythm. Just lost it all in one corner. And he was just within sight of the leader of Parley. And now he's just a dot on his windshield as he is far away from him right now. So yeah, that, as it stands right now, this is your top 5. Parley, if you can see him on your screen, he is the furthest one away, as he has got a massive lead over the 22 of MFF Kari, our 2nd place car. And then Shackett in the 19 running in 3rd. Old Johnny Boy in 4th. McLovin has settled into 5th. Now let's look at the rest of the running order here as we can try to figure that out. The 1 car, D. Allison, on pit road. We'll see whether or not he's out of the race as well. This 45 of Savage Bear will inherit 6th place, if that's the case. That somehow rhymed. Shady and Ed, though, the gap between those two has not changed either. That's a battle for the free pass. The 77 of Ed was gonna pit, but he misjudged his entry. Was coming in there too fast and darted back onto the racetrack at the last second. That was a very heads-up move from the 77 of Ed, though, and he prevented himself from getting a speeding penalty. Good job there. But yeah, another development. The 1 car of D. Allison is out of this race. Another potential contender here tonight for another top 5. The 77 of Ed those into the inside wall. As he looks like his car is struggling in the long run. Top 5 continuing to separate from the rest of the herd. This is 6th place. Yes. Oh, that car is struggling with center rotation. As you see, that car shot up the hill. Or in that case, really just shot to the right. There isn't really a hill. These corners are so flat. They're flatter than Danica Patrick's tits even before the breast reduction surgery. As I might take a quick break here, as we are getting close to halfway. This will complete lap number 22. This is a 52 lap stage, keep in mind. 1 pit stop required for all of our drivers. Battle for fourth potentially between the 20 and the 16. Let's get to the aerial shot of that now. You see the 20 car set up the exit. He's being very meticulous about that, seeing where the 16 is weak, takes advantage of it, sends it in deep. Make sure that package is sent and delivered, and hopefully for him that package doesn't have a return address. Otherwise he will be back to where he was, as he will take back fourth from the 16 of old Johnny Boy. MFF Kari has gained separation from the 19 of Shack Attack. His car is seeming to be better in the long run than the 19 at the moment. As our race leader Parley has about 10 laps left in the fuel tank, so he's probably thinking of stretching that thing out till the fuel tank hits 0. As the leader with the big enough gap that he has, he can afford to stretch it out further than anyone else and take advantage of the tires afterwards, so expect him to pit later than everybody else. 45 of Savage Bear is now on pit road in that Jordan number 45. Shack at the 19 also coming down pit road as this battle is ensuing. What is now for third place taken away from the 19. The 16 from the outside will take that spot back from the 20 of McLovin. But yeah, right now, not the lights out pace we're used to seeing out of this number 20 Toyota. Especially given he's in the Christopher Bell car at New Hampshire. A track where Christopher Bell in real life turns into God mode. I'd expected better there, but right now just trying to salvage what he can. Let's get to the 19. As he exits pit road now. Same with the 45, who clips the grass just to be sure. Yeah, McLovin getting around Johnny Boy again. Kari still stretching it out as well. Neither of these guys have pitted yet. The 19 on fresh tires. Let's see what kind of lap times he can run down. And here is Shady Acres in the number 17. Parley's tire light just came on. He's got 5 laps of fuel left in his fuel tank, but his right rear tire is nearly wearing down to the cords. He is wearing that thing out, so you can tell which tire he's leaning on. As we are now past halfway, we're getting close to lap 30. Now, I do want to get an update on the Lucky Dog battle, because this will decide who gets back in the race. For the final stage, it was a battle between the 17 of Shady Acres and the 77 of Ed. And right now, it looks like it belongs to the 17 by a 7-second gap. And that is the gap the 17 car has, so if it stands currently in the 77, eased down to the inside line as the sound is cut out on my end. Now it's back up here. We'll see whether or not, did he pit already, or is he going to come in this time? No, he's just letting the lead cars go by. And here's the 12 car of Track Bars, who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was the last car on the lead lap, and now he is in danger of getting lapped by our race leader of Parley. McLovin now crossing down to the yellow line and pitting, with the 16 still out on track. Track Bars with a cautious, conservative entry, making sure he doesn't have red lights on his dash. He will enter pit road without a speeding penalty for sure. And Johnny Boy in the 16 also getting his service, as the top two continuing to stretch it. Parley, I believe, will be pitting this time, if not next time for sure. And, yep. And the 22 Akari will follow suit, and looks like he might have gained a little bit of time on him. That was a close call by our race leader, Parley. If you're watching his stream right now on YouTube, it is, oh, his tire blew out! He really ran that thing down to the cords. Race leader Parley's got right rear damage. That right rear went all the way down to 0%. That's going to cost him time on pit road, unless he decides not to fix the damage, which I don't think he can. This could be a game changer here in stage 2. There you see the 19 of Shackett in the distance. Look at all the time gained by the 22. An 18.3 second stop from the 24, and all that time gone. And we get an update here. Yep, for sure, it is the 19 of Shack Attack to the lead here in stage 2. Lapping the 45 of Savage Bear, who smacks the wall off turn 4. But how long can the 19 stay there? He's got the 24 and the 22 in his mirror. But are they going to put their differences aside and run the 19 down? Savage Bear's into the wall. Track bars on his lit. And never mind. What the hell did I just see? And Savage Bear is now out of the race after that heavy crash. Now, did our second and third place runners get involved in that? Let's take a look at their onboard cameras. That did not seem to slow the 24 down. Gosh, I don't know. I don't think it did. Oh, what an... Okay. So a recap of what just happened there. The 45 car, Savage Bear was getting lapped. He got loose, and he overcorrected the car off corner exit, thought he had the car straightened out. His car looped back to the right about 90 degrees, back to the outside wall, and right then and there, retired the car, keeping our leaders out of harm's way. That was very heads up, and very gentlemanlike from Savage Bear. Unfortunately, it took him out of the race. But here you see the lead change, the 24 and the 22, with the tire advantage, getting by the 19 of Shack Attack. As we will have, coming around this time by 14 to go in stage 2. In this stage, very much up for grabs now for Kari. If he can run that 24 down, it's less than a car length between the two. How is he going to set him up here? Let's get on board now. You see the different lines. Kari just maybe an inch or two lower between the turns. He enters higher that time, 24, kind of on that dashed line there, that first dashed line where that bottom lane is. You don't want to keep those left side tires down there too long. It's where the grip kind of goes away, especially in the long run. You can use that slick strip down there to get some turn in, or I guess turn out, because you're coming out of the turns. But it's risky, especially once the tires get worn out and get hot. That can cause your car to really get out of shape if you ride that seam for too long. I've seen it happen before, and that's been happening to a few guys so far tonight. And that was a good exit by the 22. It's gotten him a little bit closer. But right now he just isn't close enough. Maybe now he is. As Parley kind of parked it for him in the center of the corner as the laps wind down in stage number 2. There you see Shackett hanging on with those older tires in third place. We'll try to get an update on 4th. I don't want to take the camera away from this battle just yet. Now Kari's going to look about a width up on the outside, a car width on the outside through 3 and 4, and maybe try to set him up into turn 1. These two are running very close. It's a very risky game at a track like New Hampshire. When you're that close to the rear bumper of the car in front of you, you are playing with fire if you're trying not to make any contact with the guy you're racing with. But this is the kind of track to where, you know, bumper contact is to be expected, as this very much races like a short track, kind of like Martinsville last week, although twice the size. As we ride on board, well, not really on board now. Guaranteed to be the top 2 here. Shackett in 3rd, then you got old Johnny Boy comfortably in 4th place. I do want to see where the 20 car is right now. He is coming out of turn 2. And, ooh, yeah, that's quite a bit of time lost for the 20 in McLovin, who is continuing to go the wrong direction. And Track Bars is in contention to get his lap back again, as he is currently in 6th place. Kari using that bumper, trying to sway the 24 out of the way. Trying to create an open path for himself, but the 24 is going to gap him down the straightaway. Now Shady Acres, who was in contention battling the 77 of Ed, though, for the Lucky Dog spot. Looks like both of them are going to lose it. Shady looks like he's now in danger of losing another lap, by the looks of it, as we are getting very close to Stage 2's end. We are completing lap number 46 of 52. Parley really wanting to pull away from the 22, but he just hasn't yet, and he isn't right now, and I don't know if he will. That 22's got a rocket ship tonight. It's all going to come down to execution. And again, we still have one more stage to come to decide this thing. So we're not done yet. These guys will be wishing this is for the win, but we still got one more set of laps remaining. And that'll be 5 laps to go. Now, while these two are battling it out, they are probably thinking in the back of their heads, okay, now I know what I have in Stage 2. Is there anything else I can do to get faster in the final stage once all the chips are on the table? Because we're just kind of easing our way in right now. Our toes are barely dipping into the pool. These guys are not quite into the shallow end yet. We will be soon. As the laps continue to tick, that might have been a bit of a kiss. Parley telling Kari to kiss his ass, and he literally did there, as we're going to be 3 wide into turn 1. Kari and Parley make contact as they're both trying to get around the lap car of Shady Acres. He is going to let these two commence, and Parley stays in front, but Kari does not lose any time. He is really peeking to the inside now. How patient is that 22 going to be? Now, for viewers that have watched our Pro-Am action last season, remember, and I remember this very well, MFF Kari had a really fast car in that race, was battling the great Mark McAttack for the win, and he had what looked like a faster car and didn't quite capitalize on that. And I made sure to let him know, and Parley, the guy he's chasing, was also in the commentary box with me watching it unfold. He was just as frustrated as I was. Now Parley's thinking, please stay back there. Parley's singing a different tune from behind the wheel than he was in the booth last season, for sure. I can guarantee you that, as we are now down to our last lap here in Stage 2. Kari, now the aggression showing. There is a stage win on the line. gets into his door. This will be for the Stage 2 win. It's going to be a drag race to the line, and Parley won't be denied. Stage 2 win goes to the 24. A good attempt by the 22 to steal it away, but it just wasn't enough. Gave him a little bit of a door check, even side drafted him to the line, but that 24 took the challenge and accepted it, and he was able to hold him off. And now, Parley in contention for the clean sweep. He started this race from the pole. He's gotten the Stage 2 and Stage 1 wins, so he's gotten both stage wins on lockdown. And now it's time to get the most important flag of the night, and that's that checkered flag to end this thing. That's maximum points for the 24 on the line for somebody that has started the season a little later than everybody else. Will be huge if he is trying to go for this championship. As we look at the rest of the running order now, you saw our top two. Shack Attack holds off third place. Old Johnny Boy in P4 and McLovin in the 20 car rounds out your top five. He is the last car on the lead lap track bars, the only car one lap down. Will get back into the race in P6. And just like Stage 2, the 22 pit crew shining today will take the lead back and control the restart for Stage 3. All the chips are on the table now here in Loudon, New Hampshire. They're side by side into turn 1, 2 by 2, and the 12 car at track bars washes up on the outside, running in 6th place as he is our free pass driver. Looking to get a good finish here tonight. But now, that brings everybody else back into frame. The 19 of Shack Attack now has a clear shot of these two. The 16 of Old Johnny Boy has some unfinished business. And what about the 20 of McLovin, who has been fighting with that car tooth and nail? Thought he had a pretty good shot here tonight, has just been struggling with the handling of that car. The 22 is going to lose the spot to the 19, who uses up all of the apron to take that spot away. Not the restart the 22 was looking for, surely. And now is not the time to lose ground. This is where everyone is at their closest. So if there's a time to be on the attack, it's right now. And unfortunately for Kari, a bit of a slip up, maybe some contact from the 19, not entirely sure how it happened or how he sees it. But that is back to 5th place for the car that looked like he was matching our race leader's pace. And unfortunately for him, the fire-off speed just isn't there. But as for the 19 and 20, it very much is. And that's probably the one thing this 20 car has right now. It's that short run gain. You saw it in Stage 2. He had clawed his way up to 2nd place. What looked like he had figured out the handling of his car. And now it's time for McLovin to reestablish his rhythm. He has a clear shot of the leader. He has Shackett in front of him in his windshield in 2nd place. Try to follow that 19 car if he can, but if he feels like he's faster, it's time to get around him as quickly as he can and not lose too much time to the 24, because that's the one guy I would not want to lose time to on track. That 24 Parley has just been mostly just about unstoppable all day. But now back to Kari. He's gotten back around Johnny Boy in the 16. This is 4th place, so he's gained that spot back. The problem is, look at all the time he had lost on that restart. As now we have 50 to go in the race, with what I believe we will have 2 pit stops required in this final stage. Battle for 2nd commencing here between JGR teammates, the 20 and the 19. McLovin has the preferred line into 3. Gets around the 19 of Shack Attack, who's going to try to set him up on the crossover. Hell, even use a little bit of the bumper to his advantage. But nothing there. The 20 was not going to be budged out of the way. He will prevail and hold on to 2nd place. And now for McLovin, one more car remaining. Yeah, Parley continuing to lead. All he can really do right now is just continue to run the pace he is running right now. Don't worry about this battle right here. These guys are fighting their own battles here. He is pretty much walking away. he can just keep it that way, if I'm Parley, just stick to the script, stick to what's working. If I'm the 20 car, I'm hoping I have the rhythm established. I hope that car is adjusted to my liking. Hopefully I threw everything and the kitchen sink in it to make sure this car can stay on the racing line. As for Kari, I am frustrated with all those spots that I had lost on that restart. With, again, what looked like a potential contender for the win. The only guy all day that really matched Parley on pace is now marked back in 4th place. And these 2 cars in front of him, he might be faster than, but trust me, these guys are not going to be easy passes for him. Not a chance, and they're going to make damn sure of it. So what do I do if I'm Kari? How patient can I afford to be? I don't know if he can be able to afford to be patient at all right now. Do I gain those spots now? Can I be able to gain them back under the pit stops? I don't really know. But right now, he is in the thick of it right now. And even old Johnny Boy is starting to gather it back up in that 16 car. Running really strong in the top 5. Staying equal with the cars he's following. That's another guy that's been working on his car. Making it better as the race has been going on. Tell you right now, if this was the battle for the lead, this would be like must watch. Like, you have the quartet of cars here sweating it out, giving it their all, trying to get the best of each other, the best they can. Meanwhile, Parley is out to lunch. He is gone from these guys. And the more they continue the battle, the further his advantage will be. Because he doesn't have to worry about anything. As we look to, the 17, Shady Acres, looks like he has also dropped out of this race. He will join his teammate Savage Bear. Stag Slayer, the MPM cars are dropping like flies, and the one of D. Allison. All of MPM is out, except for the 12, who is the flag bearer for that team. He is the last one standing for that squad. He is hoping to make it to the checkered flag. This is a race of attrition, ladies and gentlemen. We had started this race with 11 cars, and look at the amount of cars that have dropped out like flies. And we've seen this with many weeks as well. Reliability and engine failures have been a storyline. Races like Texas, we saw these two right here, the 20 and the 19. These were 2 top contenders in that race. Dropped out. The 20 had an engine failure before lap 10, and the 19 had an engine failure in the closing laps going for the win. Which goes to show that anything can happen here in the Phantom Racing League. Anything can happen here on NASCAR Heat 5. The game that for some reason is still alive. Don't know how. W. Timmy, shout out to Hollywood in the chat. Owner of the Ruthless Racing League. Those guys run on Thursdays. They're closing up their seasons, both them and the Legacy Series. I think their finale for Legacy's next week, I think. I'd like to try to make that. I haven't made a race in a while. '20 holding strong in 2nd place. These 4 cars are stuck like glue. Not much has really changed in the order of it, but let's look through the rest of the field, I guess. See who else is still standing. The 77 of Ed, though, has had some issues in this race as well. But his crew has been hard at work on that race car, getting it fixed, getting it taped up, getting those adjustments dialed in. And he is continuing to truck along and stay in this race. Same with the 12 of Track Bars, who has gotten the lucky dog not once but twice. That 12 has been very persistent in this race, not giving up. And the amount of attrition we have at this rate, the 12 car could probably get a top 5 finish, if not more, if we have more cars drop out, which is possible. These next gens seem to be struggling on reliability recently. And it doesn't play any favorites, like I said. Even the top guys have their moments as well. Now again, I believe we have 2 pit stops required here in this stage. If I can get the list pulled up here. Yeah, so 2 pit stops for everybody remaining on track. Let me get to our running order here. Track bars in the 12 car on pit road. We got the 20, the 22, and the 16 now. The 19 of Shackett's on pit road now. He is going to short pit. And this could be good. If I'm anyone in that group, I'm not getting anywhere. If I got a bunch of cars holding me up, now would be a good time to break free. And I think that 19 did exactly that. This could benefit him, I think. He's got a fast enough car in the long run. If it's not partly fast, but it's fast enough for a top 3, and now would be a good chance for him to do that now. Talking to Shackett in the booth post-race for a lot of these races, I know he is getting tired of finishing 3rd every week, but this would be a good chance for him to get something better than 3rd, so now would be a good time to take it with that short pit, as he will come down pit road. The 16's coming down pit road. This 19 was coming out. The 16 is now on pit road. Old Johnny Boy will surrender 4th. Battle for 2nd. Kari looking to the outside of McLovin, who uses up all of the apron to protect his line, but the 22 set him up. He's on the outside of him now. Turn 3, 2nd place up for grabs. Can the 22 take it away from him? That 20 is going to get defensive. He's going to try to run him a bit wide if he can. Oh, but the 22 got really tight. Had to correct it. Nearly made contact with the 20 in order to do so, but he stays even with him here. Let's get to the aerial shot for this battle. McLovin did an excellent job defensive driving, holding off that spot. 22 trying to line up with this bumper, but it doesn't really pay off. The 20 had the better exit. Might have scraped the wall in turn 1 there. That might have hurt him a little bit. Hard to tell if that was sparks or just the yellow paint on both these cars, as this has pretty much turned into a race for 2nd unless Parley has a slip up on pit road. Which, I mean, given his tire situation, he nearly did. He ran that tire, that right rear, all the way down to the rim in stage 2, and that nearly cost him the stage victory. And it looks like with 30 to go, he is playing with fire once again. Can that 24 make it to pit road without any trouble? And there's only one guy that really wants that, and that's that 24. Everyone else is thinking, please, fuck up. Otherwise, this will just continue to be a battle for 2nd for the rest of the way. McLovin and Kari still have yet to pit. Guess we can look through the rest of the field here. I believe the 77... Yeah, the 77 of Ed, though, also has yet to pit. We saw the 12 track bars pit earlier. Two laps left for Parley. Did he pit yet? The 20 did. McLovin now on pit road. We'll pit a lap prior to the 22. And that's assuming the 22 pits this next lap. But as for our leader, Parley, it's either this time or next time. Which one will it be? There it is, from the lead. The 24 will get his service. Now the 22 stays on track. He's thinking he might have a tire advantage in the long run. That seems to be the strategy that 22 is very comfortable with. Again, last week, likes to stretch that tank out all the way. He's been doing that pretty similarly today as well. As we got a battle here, the 19 and the 16 both came out of the pits a lap or so apart from each other. You saw Kari come down pit road there, as the 19 has come out ahead of the 16 of old Johnny Boy. Will the short pit benefit those guys by chance? There's the 24 of Parley exiting pit road now. The 20 back there in the distance. Shackett back to the lead for now. We saw this in stage 2. How long can he stay there? It was a 15.9 second stop for our race leader, Parley. And you see McLovin. Let's get to the 22 now. And pitting 2 laps later, for now, will hurt him. In the closing laps, 25 to go. The tire difference on display. Getting around the 16 with ease. The 19 will be just about the same. Shackett trying to put up much of a fight, but not much he can really do. Parley back to the point here at New Hampshire. As everyone else is just awaiting the inevitable right now. The 24 should be pulling away here any second. Look at how tight both those guys got coming off turn 4. Maybe McLovin has something for these two. He was running ahead of that quartet earlier. Pitting later put him behind for now, but he's got the tire advantage as expected. So can he take back second place from his Toyota teammate of Shack Attack? Or does he worry about the 22? The 22 played the long game on the first stop, but he's going to short pit on the second. He is back on the pit road already. What does that do for everybody else? Everyone that's racing against the 22 taking notes. The 24 saw it. The 19 saw it. The 16 saw it. They're all pitting except for the 20 of McLovin, who stays on track and takes over the race lead. And there's the 22 of Kari. Now, I have no idea what tires he took. Some of these guys might take right sides. Some of them might take none. Let's get to the 24's pit box now. Again, he pitted with the 16 and the 19. That is a splash and go if I've ever seen one. The 24 is back on track. The 16 and the 19, not so much. They're still on pit road. The 16 is out and the 19 is out, and all that time lost. But with those fresh tires, can they race with the 24, who took a gamble and took no tires? Track buyers now on pit road. There's the 22 Akari. Now it looks like, so there is Kari in turn 1. Let's get to Parley. He's coming off turn 2 now, so he still came out ahead of the 22. But now the answer, or the question is, what's next for the 20? He's playing the long game here, staying on track. Still needs to make his second stop for the stage and for the race. But he is currently in the lead, nearly 3/4 a lap ahead of the 24, who is currently in second on track. You saw the 12 of track bars. He's exiting pit road, making his second stop. And if that thing continues to run, he will make it to the finish. as I believe he is currently scored in 6th place at the moment, so it'll be a good finish for the 12, making his 2nd start in Phantom. And what has pretty much been an attrition battle throughout. Ed, though, falls a lap behind, at least another one. I don't know how many laps behind he has been, but that 77 I know has been struggling for a lot of the night. And I know that 77 of Ed, though, man, he had started off the season out of the gate, just straight up. Barged through the door, letting everyone know he was here, and man, oh, and around he goes. Hits the slick strip. Look out, Corey! That was a close call. As the 77 got into the butter. And as I was saying for Ed, though, he had been as high as 3rd in the standings earlier in the year. He had started off the season so strong, getting his first stage win, leading laps, contending for podiums. He got, I think, a 2nd or 3rd place finish at Michigan. He had started off the season better than he's ever been. And now just this rough patch on the schedule. These are tracks that he's not too favorable of, just trying to tough it out the best he can. But next week is Las Vegas. That's going to be a more favorable track for him. And I know that 77 is going to get to work and hopefully right the ship and get his season turned back around. Now here's McLovin getting the most he can on pit entry. Now how close was that for the 20 car? Trying to take a risk there. Battle for... So I'll check that. I think that's for 4th place? What will possibly be 3rd once the 20 cycles out. We'll get a look-see on where the 20 will come out once he's done with his service. And that'll be it for the 20 McLovin. And that's some sweat wiped off Parley's face. That's one less guy to worry about. That car is really loose on the butter, trying to take all he can from what I believe is a no-tire stop. That thing is on ice skates the moment it exits pit road. That's the risky thing about not taking tires. These next-gen cars, you never had this with the 2020 Gen 6 cars. You took no tires late in a stint. You could still exit pit road and pretty much mash it out the same way you would on freshies. But here with these next gens, oh, the 20's around! And at a dead stop on the front straight away. That is potentially race over for the DeWalt Toyota. And what might have been a Hail Mary move on strategy didn't work out. The 19 of Shack Attack gains a car length on Johnny Boy. Now, Parley slowing down. This looks like a caution. With what will be 12 to go here in Loudon, New Hampshire, what looked like for sure this race was going to be over. The caution is waived. And the 20 gets a lucky break. So does the 77 of Ed, though, who's going to get one of his laps back. And just like that, we are close to 10 to go in the race. And ladies and gentlemen, shit just got interesting again. And all because I believe the 20 of McLovin, that crash off turn 4 was enough to trigger a caution. And now if I must subscribe him to some ointment for that itchy arm of his. Because what a lucky break that was to get him back into the race. And meanwhile, somewhere, Michael Waltrip is seething right now. If this works out for the 20, oh boy. And I know he probably doesn't like me saying this if he ends up watching this broadcast afterwards, which I don't know if he will or not. But I gotta say it, bro had the itchy arm. As it looks like the race off pit road remains unchanged, but the 20 car still does need to fix a ton of damage to his machine, so we'll see how the handling characteristics are after that repair job. But now a second chance at life for the 22 of MFF Kari. The one guy in this field who had potentially matched pace with the 24 has a new shot at life once again. It's all gonna come down to this restart. And it's same with Parley. He needs to have the restart of a lifetime to leave these guys in the dust. But can the 22 match him? Assuming we get back going green here. As we get to the restart zone, that looked a bit early. As the green flag had waved, I think we're at 10 to go now. And ladies and gentlemen, then there were 6 because I think the 12 of track bars is now out of the race. The man who had become the flag bearer for MPM, the lone soldier for that squad, was 10 laps short of making it. And now we're down to 6. And they're slowing back down. I think that restart is null and void. I think race control agrees with what I saw. That 24, in fact, jumped the restart. Now again, I don't have an ear on race control, but I do think that's what happened. There'll be 9 laps to go. Ed's going to get another lap back. Now, I'm curious to see, will Ed, though, be back on the lead lap? I think he is. Ladies and gentlemen, this has now become a 6-horse race. So if there's any shenanigans up here, Ed is in contention for another top 5. Now again, I'm not entirely sure here. I think Ed still might be, it might be a false alarm, I think Ed still might be 1 down. But, as per Phantom rules, no manual cautions past 5 to go. We are still in that window, but the likelihood of another manual caution coming out is very slim, because that window is continuing to close as the laps tick down. Now, the 19 of Shack Attack is now what appears to be the control car. And what a pit stop for the 19. Gosh, I feel like a fucking idiot. Did the 19 take 2 tires or none? I'm curious to find out. And now through the restart zone, this one was a much cleaner restart that time. Shaka gets the jump. We're back to green. Parley now has to play from offense. Can he get back up to the front? McLovin in his mirror gets very close to his bumper there. Backs out of it. The 24 is going to peek to the outside of the 19. The 19 is going to fight very hard for this one. Parley using all of that third lane. Shackett getting help from his teammate McLovin, who's trying to take second away from the 24. And nearly up into the marbles goes the 24. Parley, door contact between him and McLovin. But they're still even down the straightaway. Kari through the middle. Parley up into the outside. He's going to lose another spot. This time to the 22. And he gets shoved out of the way by the 20. And that'll hit the reset button on his run. Back to the outside of the 20. Now Parley back up to second place. Up to the bumper of the 19. We got a lap count, 4 to go. That was 4 laps to go that time by. At 3.5 now down the back. Parley had been out in clean air all day long. Now he's on even tires. His car got out of shape. Where'd the 20 go? He's out too! Oh my goodness! With 2.5 to go, things are changing non-stop. What might have been all for nothing contact between him and Parley might have taken Parley out of contention for the win, but he's not out of this yet. 2 to go, this time by Shack Attack in the lead. McLovin, who had been struggling with his race car all day, now in contention for the win with one car left in sight. Does he have anything for this 19? He's going to set him up. Parley's going to follow. White flag waves from the flag stand. One more lap to go. And it's McLovin who goes to the inside of the 19 of Shack Attack. Does he have anything to fight back on the top rope? Johnny Boy goes around. We're down to 3. Shackett's going to fight him off. McLovin sends it in. Parley's around. We're down to 2. Shackett to the outside of McLovin. It's a drag race to the line. It's a close one, but McLovin's got it. The 20 car. Never count him out. McLovin gets the win here at New Hampshire. What in the world did I just watch, ladies and gentlemen? What a race to the checkered that was. Oh my goodness. What looked like a calm, coordinated race to the checkered flag in that final stage from flag to flag. And that caution came out with 12 to go. And God bless McLovin and that itchy arm of his to steal this one away from what had been the dominant car of the day. Parley will have to settle for third. And Ed, though, really capitalized on the attrition. He will finish in 4th place. Like I said, a chance to get back in the top 5, and he did exactly that. That 77 with a huge turnaround, huge points turnaround back to 4th. And old Johnny Boy, there must have been some extra butter added to that bottom lane because him and Parley got loose on both ends of the racetrack on the last lap. And that's what gave up 4th place to the 16. And I'm gonna need a minute here. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Phantom Racing here at New Hampshire, the Magic Mile. And there must have been some dark magic. It was a lot that went down. But as we got our podium finishers into the booth, and we will go ahead and get started with our post-race coverage. Ladies and gentlemen, here on the Phantom Racing YouTube channel, thank you everyone that's been tuning in, watching these races every Saturday. Leave a like to this crazy nonsense that I just watched there. Wallbridge, I see you in the chat. You missed quite a show there, my guy. That was you would have been losing it up here, I guarantee it. I'm sad that you weren't up here, dude. You missed a good one. A lot of the people in the race probably don't feel that way because that was pretty chaotic. Let's get to Parley. Dude, you had the dominant car. You were in contention for the clean sweep. And that caution came out with 12 to go. What are the emotions right now?
I mean, definitely feel like, well, I know I had the car to win, and A little disappointed with the caution, but I mean, hey, that's going to happen, especially for the last couple laps. But um, third place, I still got a podium. I still got some stage finishes, some good points. Like I said, I think I'm going to ride it out and just get ready for Vegas next week. Got that track out of the way, so good tracks coming up.
Now, I gotta ask though, on that last restart, you and I think the 22, did Kari send it down? Did he give you the bumper and then just disappear? Like, what exactly happened there?
I don't know what happened. I was expecting a little bit of going hard in the turns. I would have done the same, and then he said he lagged out or something like that, and
Oh no.
so I was like, oh, of course that had to happen. I mean, he had a really good car for contention for arguably the win, let alone the podium too, and it sucked to see that happen. I'm like racing against that 22 car. He had a really fast car tonight, so.
It
But
really
I
looked
mean,
like it was gonna be the battle between you two for the end there.
yeah. But a lot of chaos happened, and that another one was just it was a terrible restart for everyone. So it was just a lot of people got damaged, and I just didn't feel right to race it out like that.
Yeah, I wasn't
So
sure what happened on the first restart. It looked like you jumped before the zone. I thought that's what happened.
I think I got a little jump, and everyone just got some Everybody got damaged. I was like, just fuck it. Everybody go back in the pits, get a clean restart, and get that right. So, and I mean, it turned out to be one crazy finish. So I'm glad. And
Yeah, well, there you have it. And I know it's disappointing to be on the wrong end of what was an exciting finish here from a broadcasting perspective there, but still a good points day for you. You swept the stages, got the pole. That's definitely going to go a long way points wise. So, and that is our third place finisher. And now let's get to the man that we just saw come up short to the finish. Shackett, you got a copy.
Yep.
Well, the good news is I'm not talking to you about third place anymore. I knew that was something that you were getting tired of finishing every week, but one finish up from that, but just that close from victory between you and McLovin.
Well,
What was going through your mind that last lap?
I mean, I didn't end up getting damaged when everybody went to go jump the start, so I was gonna throw two tires on it, but the car got wet. It was just way too tight on two tires. Um, kind of checked up the field a little bit coming to the start right there. I kind of went a little deeper into the restart zone than everybody's used to, so we got a clean start going into turn one, and then it was just a matter of trying to keep everybody behind me. And unfortunately, like I said, the car was too tight, and I couldn't protect the bottom, and I knew McLovin was going to try to wrap the bottom. So I tried to block as much as I could, and he just gave me a little bump. And then, I mean, if the finish line was maybe 30 feet further, I probably would have got him. Surprisingly, had a good run off the top, but I mean, I don't know. I didn't have a terrible car, but I mean, I obviously didn't have a car for a super long run. So I was just trying to go off strategy from everybody else, but um, it is what it is. It sucks, but you know, I'd rather finish second to McLovin than most other people. But I'm excited for Vegas. I'm excited to get away from these short tracks and actually go back to, tracks that are going to bring good racing
I
throughout
hear
the
that.
entire race.
I hear that, man. And it definitely looked like you had, and that was a good call too. That last pit stop with the two tires to gain, and it made sense. Not many laps on those tires, so you could definitely get away with it.
Yeah,
It
I think I
definitely helped.
had like 99% on all the tires, so I knew in order to, I mean, when you're, finishing 5, 8, 10 seconds every stage behind the two guys, it's a matter of, okay, you've got to do something different and see if it works. And I knew that those three were going to really kind of be battling each other. So I was hoping to at least keep a gap far enough back. And I mean, it worked. If they probably would have got single file, they would have probably, swallowed me up a lot sooner than, coming to the last lap. But, um, yeah, I'm just, like I said, not much of a short track racer. So I want to, I'm excited to get back to the mile and a halves and all that stuff.
There you go. And yeah, that is Vegas next week. And I'm sure you're not the only one that's looking forward to that too. So unfortunately came up short, but still a good finish. Overall good points day for you, so congratulations on that. And that is our second place finisher, and ladies and gentlemen, never count him out. McLovin in that number 20 car looked like he had struggled with the handling of his car, had a couple of moments where he'd slipped up, lost time. It looked like he was going to be out of it. Kept working on it, kept getting better, and got himself in position there. With that caution with 12 to go, I got to ask about that. What happened?
So I just pitted, as you could probably see on the stream. I don't know if it was on there, but I came back out, and then going through 3 and 4, I hit the seam. Like where the banking's kind of different on the very bottom line. I don't know if you were just on track, so I figured you'd know.
Yeah.
I hit that and just completely lost the car, and then I was ghosted on the front stretch of my screen, just sitting there telling everyone, hey, up high, but I guess Eto hit me somehow and got damaged, so he called caution. Which kind of turned out to be good, but I was in the chat like, are you sure? But
yeah,
caution got called.
I'll have to go back to the stream because I missed that. I didn't see him in frame, so I'm curious.
That's what happened there, and then just racing hard those last few laps. I had nothing for Parley after about 10 laps, and him and Kari were the class of the field. That Parley deserved that win, though. He was lights out. All the credit to him. Good strategy call by Shaka there once he saw he had a chance to take advantage of a different strategy there at the end to get the lead, and because it's hard in New Hampshire to even get a pass done, let alone pass anyone. So him making that call necessarily wasn't a bad call, and then was racing really hard there for second with Parley and the 22. I got into both of them twice, so I actually eventually let them go and just fell back to fourth in front of Johnny. But then I guess the 22 had lagged out or something after he got into the 24, and that slowed the 24 down enough to where I was able to get back in front of him. And then going to that last lap, I was like, the only way you're going to pass is to give him a little bit of a bump, so I just moved him up half a groove, was able to get to that middle groove and race him to the line. Happy to get the win, but probably the least excited I've been for one because it was the first race in a while where I know I didn't have race winning pace, to be completely honest. But I mean, sometimes you get them in other ways, and I guess we were able to do that tonight.
Absolutely, and I'll have to look back at Ed's stream, and if I don't see anything, you're gonna have to send me your address. I'm gonna have to send you some itch cream for that arm. Itchy arm.
Itch cream.
Itchy arm.
I'm so confused right now what you're talking about, honestly.
Never mind. I was saying you allegedly had an itchy arm and spun out because that helped you get back in the race.
Oh, no, I didn't intentionally spin out. But I also, you can ask Parley or anyone else in there, I literally said, are you sure that's a caution? And I was the one that wrecked, so.
I believe you. I'm just fucking around, dude. I'm just fucking around.
Yeah, I know.
But, no, for real, no. Oh, yeah, that's your fourth win, I believe, right?
Yes, sir.
Alright, that's win number 4, and now the drive for 5 next week at Vegas. And that's a track that's anyone's race, basically. How are you feeling about your chances there?
Probably about as good as anyone else. Like you said, it's one of those races where it's going to be all about staying in the draft, not making mistakes, and being there for the last pit stop. So I feel good about it, but we'll see how it goes.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our top... Actually, wait, I'm not done. Hold on. Let's get the other side of that story here since he's in the booth. I actually want to talk about that, but also a top 5, a surprise top 5 from MFF Ed, though. And I think you would agree, this was pretty much a race of attrition, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I just stuck it out, and people just kept dropping and dropping and dropping. So pretty much what
So
enabled me to
what
get a
did you
top five.
see? What did you see? Uh, with the 20.
Well, he was up against the wall, and then I went to come by him, and I guess I might have clipped him right before he ghosted or something, and it caused a little damage.
Mm.
And I said caution, like asking if it was a caution, but you know, by the time I could explain it, he had already started slowing down. So, you know, that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, and that's the thing with manual cautions. Like, even though it's like set that it's 2 or more, everyone's got to be, on the same page whether or not that really was a 2-car incident or not. Like, it's never a for sure thing. But I mean, it definitely, if that's the case, then it definitely was. And I got the stream up right now. Yeah, I see it. It definitely.
It was close.
Yeah.
I said caution, like
I can see
was
it.
it a caution? But yeah.
But yeah, it looked like you were just kind of toughing it out as much as you can, just kind of picking up spots one by one as people were dropping out of the race. It seemed pretty hectic. There were a lot of people who dropped out. That's about half, probably more than half the field. I don't think that's ever happened in a Phantom race.
Due to lacking issues.
Yeah, I hate Corey dropped out right there at the end. So I'm probably going to discuss it with Party since it was so close to the end. Instead of giving him a DNF, giving him a top 6 maybe. If Parley was okay with that, it's all up to what we decide to do about it. But
Yeah, but
We'll
well,
figure that out. We'll go through that stuff.
despite all of that, it's a bounce back week for you. You started off the season strong. Didn't quite have the pace recently, but another top 5 helped get your season back around. So,
yeah,
good shit.
thank you.
And how you feeling about Vegas next week?
I'm feeling pretty confident about Vegas. I'm always pretty good there. These mile and a half, 1 mile tracks and short tracks is not my forte by far, so feeling pretty confident about going to Vegas.
And there you have it. And I see, Kari, you joined the booth as well. Do you have any words you wanna say? Because I don't even know what to ask you. You look like you had the only guy that could match Parley on pace all day, man. And just unfortunate that you dropped out with so few laps left in the race. Just walk me through your race and walk me through how you feeling right now.
Well, I tried to keep up with Parley, but due to traffic, that was kind of tough trying to get around him and everything. So I tried to pull away from him, and when Parley got away and I got away from the traffic that was behind me, it was so hard to catch him because it felt like it seemed like we had pretty much equal cars, and I just didn't know what to do. So I tried to short pit on the first stage, not short pit, try to take 2 tires on the first stage. Came out right in front of him, but he had the fresher tires. He had 4 tires, and he pulled away, so I could only maintain second. And stage 2, pretty much the same thing, but I'm not for sure. I don't remember what happened stage 2. I think I pitted on the same lap he did, trying to be on the same strategy on what he did. In stage 3, I just tried to keep up with Paulie throughout the whole race, but unfortunate that lag storm hit us today, and we were unable to finish the race. So
That is very unfortunate, but unfortunately too common on this platform. But we continue on. That's just how it is, how it's going to be on here. So, an unfortunate end to what looked like was going to be a really strong day for Kari. But Vegas, chance to bounce back next week. You think you're going to be there, and do you think you have a good shot?
Yeah, I think I have a good car. No, I don't think. I know I got a good car. I think I have a shot out the window. I just got to play my cards right, keep my car clean, keep my nose clean, stay out of trouble, and we will be up there.
And there you have it, folks. Any final thoughts before we head out?
We have 1.5 miles next week, so that's that.
Yeah, I think we're all ready to move on. I'm honestly ready to get out of here myself. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been the Phantom Racing Series at Loudon, New Hampshire. If you enjoyed that uh, craziness, that subscribe button is right there in front of you. It doesn't take much effort. You just click on that and boom, you'll see races like that just about every Saturday and all that other stuff. So, and also the like button. We like it when people hit the like button too. I like have a lot of people hit that button. And yeah, so Vegas next week again, same time, Saturday, 9 o'clock Eastern. Hopefully Wallbridge will be back, so I'll have someone to talk to. But until then, this has been the Phantom Racing League here on YouTube, and we will see you next week. Take care.